Welcome to SATV News. This is Anaf Hussain with our headlines. No government can guarantee zero violence, says Press Secretary. No chance of vote rigging, reaffirms Home Advisor. Iqbal Karim testifies in enforced disappearance case. Appears as first prosecution witness against Ziaud. CTG port workers resume strike. Authorities claim activity is normal. Business leader warned economic fallout. Now in details. Home Affairs Advisor MD Jahangir Alam Chaudhary on Sunday said there is no possibility of vote rigging in the national election, expressing confidence that the polls will be peaceful, fair and festive ones. There is no scope for vote rigging. You cooperate with us. If any irregularity happens anywhere, inform us and we will take action immediately, he told journalists after a law and order coordination meeting at the Rangpur Divisional Commissioner's conference room. Responding to questions about whether a fair election was possible amid the current law and order situation, Jahangir Alam said all necessary preparations had been taken in line with the specific needs of different areas. These issues were also discussed in today's coordination meeting. The election will be held peacefully. It will be a free, fair and credible election, he said. The advisor said law enforcement agencies, the administration and the Election Commission had completed all preparations despite the short time frame, leaving no opportunity for irregularities. Chief Advisor's Press Secretary Shafiqul Alam on Sunday said no government can guarantee there will be no attempts at violence, particularly when influential actors are actively calling for disruption. But the coordination today are not the same as before. Security forces are under close security, political parties and civil society are cooperating, and international observers are on the ground. He said the response to TIB's report on election-related killings. Together, Alam said these conditions give real reason to believe that this election can finally end the cycle of fear and violence that defined previous elections. Transparency International Bangladesh says that 15 political leaders and activists were killed in the 36th day following the announcement of the election schedule. That number has quickly taken on a life of its own, but it deserves scrutiny, not blind repetition, Alam said. Police records show that only 5 killings during this period can be directly linked to political profile or activity, he said. One of them was the cold-blooded murder of Osman Hadi, shot dead by gunman on a motorcycle, Alam said. Every killing is condemnable. Osman Hadi's murder was particularly brutal, aimed not only at silencing a young political leader, but at provoking fear and instability at a sensitive political moment. That objective failed, the press secretary said. BNP Chairman Tariq Rahman on Sunday promised that his party, if elected, would transform Dhaka into a safe city and construct at least 40 playgrounds across the capital. My party, inshallah, if elected, with your votes and the votes of the people of this country, will transform the cities across the country, including Dhaka, into a safe city, he said, while addressing a roadside rally in ECB Chattar area of Mirpur in Dhaka 17 at around 3:45 p.m. on the first day of his final election campaign in the city. Tariq also said his party will work to turn Dhaka into a livable city where people can move freely and securely. It will be made a city where mothers and sisters can walk freely and safely at any time, where people can live securely, carry out their business and jobs without fear. We want to build Dhaka into a beautiful city where the residents can breathe freely, he observed. Referring to the shortage of playgrounds in the area, the BNP chairman said he has been informed that there were no adequate playfields in the locality. If BNP forms the government on February 12, with your prayers and the blessings of Allah, we will not only build playgrounds here but will construct at least 40 playgrounds across Dhaka, he said. Tariq said the playgrounds will allow the children to play in open spaces and the elders and women to walk and spend time outdoors when needed. He also sought votes across the country for the BNP's election symbol, the sheaf of paddy, saying the election is crucial for rebuilding the nation. Introducing himself to voters, he said he is the BNP candidate from Dhaka 17 and a son of the area. Jamaat-e-Islami Amir Dr. Shafiqur Rahman on Sunday said the upcoming election is meant to bring liberation to hard-working common people, not benefit opportunities. In a Facebook post, he said politics in Bangladesh has become a breeding ground for corruption and illegal privileges, adding that political leaderships now appears to be treated as a family inheritance. This country is not anyone's private estate. We do not believe that a king's son must automatically become king. He said the Jamaat chief mentioned that anyone with merit and qualifications should be able to lead the nation in the future. Dr. Rahman said Jamaat has pledged that its members of parliament will not accept state-allocated plots, use luxurious government vehicles or enjoy any special privilege. He also said the assets of MPs, families, members will be disclosed before the public. Our goal is not to take a license to plunder, but to carry out state responsibilities as a sacred trust. Shafiqur Rahman said, adding that Jamaat will neither engage in corruption, extortion, nor provide political shelter to criminals, nor allow such practices. He said that they want to build a Bangladesh where mothers will not worry about the safety of their daughters, where the voices of youths will not be suppressed, and where justice will not be sold for money. By using the talent and merit of all, we aim to build a modern Bangladesh for the future, Shafiqur Rahman said. Former Army Chief General Iqbal Karim Bhuiya today began testifying before the International Crimes Tribunal 1 as the first prosecution witness in a crimes against humanity case against former Director General of National Telecommunication Monitoring Center (NTMC), Major General Relieved Ziaul Ahsan. This case was filed over more than 100 alleged enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings during the Awami League regime. While giving his deposition, Iqbal Karim told the tribunal that between 2007 and 2009, the Directorate General of Forces Intelligence (DGFI) emerged as the main controlling authority. He said people were picked up at different times, kept in DGFI cells and interrogated, including ministers and political figures. Earlier in the day, Prosecutor Ghazi Monowar Hossain Tamim presented the prosecution's opening statement. On January 14, Tribunal 1 ordered the commencement of trial against Ziaul Ahsan by framing 3 charges and fixed today for the opening statement and recording of witnesses' testimony. The interim government has officially sought support from the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights for a fair and transparent investigation into the assassination of Shahid Sharif Osman Hadi. OHCR headquarters in Geneva is the principal UN entity dedicated to promoting and protecting all human rights as established in 1993. It works to strengthen international rights, supports treaty bodies, and conduct field operations to monitor and report on human rights. As instructed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, a formal note verbal requesting for extending necessary assistance to the government of Bangladesh by the OHCR support the fair, impartial and expeditious investigation on the assassination of Shahid Sharif Osman Hadi and for justice for him was sent on February 6th. Bangladesh mission in Geneva will keep the ministry informed as soon as it receives a response from the OHCR. Reads a note sent by Bangladesh Ambassador Nahida Sobhan to the MOFA on February 8. Chattogram Port Authority Chairman Rear Admiral S.M. Munir Zaman has claimed that workers have joined work and port operations are running normally. However, shipping agents, custom agents, berth operators and ship handling operators say all activities at the port's terminals, including container loading and unloading from vessels and cargo delivery, remain suspended. Chattogram port workers and employees resumed their infinite strike this morning after a two-day pause demanding the cancellation of DP World's lease of the new mooring container terminal NCT. Cargo unloading from vessels anchored at the outer anchorage has also been halted since this morning. At a press briefing in front of the port building around 12 p.m., the port chairman said the Port Authority held a nearly 2-hour meeting with workers in the morning. After watching workers resume duty, he warned that legal action would be taken against anyone obstructing work. He reiterated that the port is operational and all activities are ongoing. The strike restarted at 8 a.m. and as workers refrained from joining duties, all operations at the port's 3 terminals and outer anchorage have come to a complete halt. The 6-day continuous work stoppage led to container backlog and vessel congestions. Business leaders say that this could lead to irreparable damage to the economy. Shipping advisor Brigadier General retired M. Sakaut Hussain today said the government would take a tough stance over the workers' strike at Chattogram Port, adding that several people have already been detained and further detentions may follow. A strike at the Chattogram Port cannot be allowed to continue, he said while speaking to reporters at the Secretariat today. Workers at the port began an indefinite strike from 8 a.m. today in protest against the government's decision to lease the new mooring container terminal NCT to a foreign company and in support of a 4-point demand. The interim government has announced plans to purchase 25 new aircraft from U.S. airspace giant Boeing, a deal aimed at consolidating the country's nearly 1 lakh crore export market in the United States. Civil Aviation and Tourism Advisor S.K. Bashir Uddin said Sunday. The deal scheduled to be signed Monday is expected to cost between Taka 30,000 crore and Taka 35,000 crore, while the U.S. initially offered 47 aircraft. The government has opted to proceed with 25 for now. Advisor Bashir said the transaction is being finalized by the interim administration to ensure a smooth transition for the incoming elected government. The interim government is completing this deal to ensure that the incoming elected government can operate without additional pressure, he said at a briefing at the Secretariat. Details of the agreement, including terms and conditions, will be disclosed after the signing, he added. Before ending, we go through. Viewers, we're taking a short break. Stay with us.
Grand Palace, 5-star chain hotel, Zinda Bazar, Sylhet. Local and international cuisines. Exclusive banquet hall for all events. 5-star luxurious rooms and suites with bulletproof glass. Fiberglass swimming pool. Relaxing spa. Well-equipped gym. Experience panoramic beauty at SATV restaurant. Welcome to Grand Palace Hotel. Grand Palace Hotel and Resorts, Jollar Par, Zinda Bazar, Sylhet, Bangladesh.
বাংলাদেশে দীর্ঘ ৩৭ বছরের সাফল্যের অগ্রযাত্রায় এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন আধুনিক ও শৈল্পিক স্থাপত্য শিল্পের দেশ মালয়েশিয়ার কুয়ালালামপুরে। লাখো গ্রাহকদের প্রয়োজনের দিক লক্ষ্য রেখে নিশ্চিত, বিশ্বস্ততা ও আন্তর্জাতিক মানের সেবা এখন ডোর টু ডোর। এসএ পরিবহন কুরিয়ার অ্যান্ড পার্সেল সার্ভিস SDN BHT 120 Jalan HS Lee 50050 কুয়ালালামপুর, মালয়েশিয়া। এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস আপনার সেবায় সবসময়।
Explore the magnificent view of Rangpur. Five-star facilities, rich chain hotel, Grand Palace. Relax in spacious rooms and suites. Enjoy local and international cuisines. Banquet and conference room. Helipad. Gymnasium. Beauty salon. Restaurants and bar. Cafe lounge. Experience luxury at Grand Palace, Rangpur.
Welcome back. You're watching SATV News. News from abroad. The United States has given Russia and Ukraine a deadline until June to reach an agreement to end the nearly 4-year-long war. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said as fresh Russian attacks hit Ukraine's energy infrastructure. Speaking to reporters on Friday, Zelensky said the Trump administration wants the war to end by early summer and is working according to a fixed schedule. He added that Washington would likely put pressure on both sides if the deadline is not met. The Americans want everything done by June and they will do everything to end the war. Zelensky said, adding that the US seeks a clear timeline for the peace process. He said the United States has proposed holding the next round of trilateral talks involving Ukraine, Russia, and the US next week, possibly in Miami. Ukraine has already confirmed its participation. Zelensky also revealed that Russia presented the US with a massive economic proposal worth about $12 trillion. Dubbed the Dmitriev package, named after Russian envoy Kirill Dmitriev. Economic cooperation is part of the broader negotiations, he said. Meanwhile, Russian forces continued large-scale attacks on Ukraine's energy system. Zelensky said Russia launched more than 400 drones and around 40 missiles overnight on Saturday, targeting power grids and energy facilities. Polls opened across Japan and Sunday as Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi seeks a decisive victory in parliamentary elections to strengthen her grip on power and push through a conservative reform agenda. Takaichi, Japan's first female prime minister who took office in October, remains highly popular with voters. However, her ruling Liberal Democratic Party LDP has struggled with public support, prompting her to call a snap election in hopes of securing a stronger mandate. She aims to revive Japan's economy, expand military capabilities, and take a firmer stance amid rising tensions with China. While maintaining close ties with the United States and President Donald Trump, opinion polls suggest the LDP, together with its new ally, the Japan Innovation Party, is on track to win a comfortable majority in the powerful 465-seat lower house. Some surveys indicate the coalition could secure up to 300 seats, a sharp rise from its slim majority following losses in the 2024 election. Takaichi has said she would step down if her party fails to win a majority. Thai voters went to the polls on Sunday in an early general election widely seen as a three-way contest among the Progressive People's Party, the ruling Bhumijati Party and the populist Pheu Thai Party. More than 53 million voters are eligible to cast ballots in the election, held amid slow economic growth and rising nationalist sentiment. Although over 50 political parties are contesting the polls, analysts say only 3 have a real chance of forming the next government. A simple majority in 500 seats of House of Representatives is needed to select the next Prime Minister. Opinion surveys suggest no party is likely to win an overwhelming majority, making a coalition government almost certain. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday began a 2-day official visit to Malaysia, a trip seen as significant for further strengthening bilateral relations that were elevated to a comprehensive strategic partnership in August 2024. This is Modi's 3rd-day visit to Malaysia and his first since the two countries upgraded ties during Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's state visit to India last year. The Indian Prime Minister is scheduled to hold bilateral talks with Anwar, focusing on political, economic, and defense cooperation. India and Malaysia formally established diplomatic relations in 1957, with ties steadily expanding over the decades. Relations were upgraded to an enhanced strategic partnership during Modi's 2015 visit before being elevated further last year. Political engagement between the two sides has remained consistent in recent years, with frequent leader-level interactions on multilateral platforms. Modi and Anwar met on the sidelines of the BRICS summit in Brazil in July 2025, while Modi also attended the Asian-Indian Summit virtually from Kuala Lumpur in October 2025. Before ending, we go through the headlines again. No government can guarantee zero violence, says Press Secretary. No chance of vote rigging, reaffirms Home Advisor. Iqbal Karim testifies in enforced disappearance case, appears as first prosecution witness against Ziaul. CTG port workers resume strike. Authorities claim activity is normal. Business leaders warn economic fallout. You're up to date with our top stories so far here on SATV. And to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with us.